Now, one of the nicest of plants in this garden is really, in some parts of the country, a weed. Well, they call it a weed. It's a thing called Lythrum, or purple loostrife to give it its common name. Lovely plant. There's several varieties. This is one called fire candle. This is it, purple loostrife. The bees go bananas over it. They absolutely adore it. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to propagate this. There's two ways to do it really. It doesn't divide that easily. The two ways of doing it are either by cuttings in the bounty time of midsummer to late summer, or by seed. Now, with all cuttings, I use a mixture of perlite and horticultural grit. I don't use any of this bloody seed and cuttings compost because it's rubbish, and it invariably goes green on the top and looks slimy and it's horrible. I don't use that. This is pretty inert. You don't get any problems with it. The perlite holds the moisture and the grit gives it weight. You could also use 50-50 grit and vermiculite, much the same. So, what we need is a stem. We've got that stem. We cut off the flower, don't want that. Then we need one pair of leaves at the top, one pair of leaves at the bottom. Cut that off. Strip off the lower leaves, just rub them off. Don't fanny on with a scalpel or a blade or anything, just rub them off with your fingers or your thumb. That's all you need. And then just go down the stem. Two pairs of leaves. Get rid of the bit of middle stalk. These are what we call nodal cuttings. And they're very, very effective. Right. Strip these off. Strip them off. By stripping the leaf off with your finger and your thumb, you're exposing a bit of the cambium beneath the, which is very thin, beneath the skin or rind or bark on a tree. And you can do this again here. You shouldn't take more than about 20% of the clump. As a home gardener, you wouldn't need that. You just want to do one or two. But you know, obviously I'm a commercial nurseryman, so I have to do more. But I don't want to emasculate the poor little bugger. So there we go. It really is very, very easy. You can, if you want, and lots of people do want, and it does work, use some hormone rooting powder. Try not to get it on your fingers or you'll grow tits. There we are. Doesn't matter for me, I've already got a pair. There's your little pots. Now these are 7 centimetre square pots. Poke your cuttings in there. There's no need to be all, you know, fanny-ish about it. You just get them in there like that. If you're doing it a bit earlier and they're a bit softer, you can just make a little hole with a cane. Well, this hormone rooting stuff has a spike on the end, but I don't bother with it when they're hard as this. You can just push them in. Tap that round. When you water that, that'll push that all round. And you need to give it plenty of water. put that in a tray, stick a propagator lid over it, and stick it somewhere sheltered or shady. Check it for water, keep it as wet as you can, because they like the moisture, and they will root in about 3 to 4 weeks. They really are easy, and very, very worthwhile. When they've rooted, just pop them up into individual pots, overwinter them, and away you go. The other way of doing them is from seed. And if you find that the Loostrife set seed, sprinkle it onto a pot of compost. Stand the pot of compost in a saucer or a plate of water. Always keep that water about a third of the way up the pot, and that will keep the moisture in the compost and keep it wet. They love germinating in wet compost. It won't be an exact clone of this because you're doing it from seed, so it's going to be variable. We've been through that before, I ain't doing it again. Anyway, that's about all there is to it. Loostrife, purple Loostrife. I wouldn't have a garden without it. It's a beautiful thing. Come on, dogs, let's go. Had enough of that now.